on the veranda. So this fucker was quietly drinking a whiskey, the last of summer evenings in attempts of capturing sanity, with air signs dominating homeliness and relaxing, with heart pounding, sitting on the veranda in the dark, sipping, having a cigarette. It's allowed when drinking. The table had a candelabra and a saw on it. Mosquitoes with weak venom were making themselves at home for the night. The usual gang was gathering. A bashful buttocks appears, soapy, wet, covered with a woman, pale, porcelain skinned, unravished by the summer sun with it. Guy, forgot to say this, Guy is a grass cutter, not a person. Guy sat up under the steps, listening, not saying a word. Blood-lipped orchids peeking through the window wanted to join in. Even a tick saw potential in the gathering as it clanged to her arse. I've written this poem over 5 days, 5 different ways. It's a bloody brilliant poem. Everyone shall love it. It has Bukowski talking of whores and cheap hotels. It channels Burroughs and naked lunch, as suggested by the Portuguese columnist. It was poison she wanted to talk about. She was right. But the naked buttocks had more to say than all of them. Hemingway said, "Right drunk." He didn't use a computer. The spell check is killing my fabulous expression. The day began with a poem being published. Delighted, I tried to contact its editor. This shall be a writing day. I started with a big can of tea, organized documents and spread the word, pottered around with a cup in my hand. I learned this from a professional. This is how to write stuff, how to write poetry. I did the washing, I washed up, I made more tea. I even oiled the steps that Guy was under. That took way more time than expected. To do this right, I needed to capture my characters, so I went to System at the off license. I bought beer and whiskey, bought cigarettes, but really, I wanted martini. 10 cigarettes in, and still not a word. I lied. I bought martini as well. 2, I'm on my second. It shall come to me. As ash covers the keyboard, if I do this justice, it shall have a Kafka ending. The snake scarers have more chance, rhythmically buzzing my thoughts. But I can only think of that arse. Did I do it justice and appreciation? I pulled the tick and poured single malt whiskey to cure the wound. It ran down the leg to her foot, all the way down with small splashes on her bum, rubbing in for best effect. If I only had more in the glass, this moment would have lasted longer. Raki. I had to choose between cleaning and hummus, so I poured myself a raki. That's an internal joke if you don't know what raki is, but bum. Your bum is a most beautiful thing in sexy underwear, but actually even more beautiful in no underwear at all, and has a lovely shape, smoothness and tone that I could gaze at and caress endlessly. It smiles and is happiness to me, and when I touch it, whether I touch it gently as you wake up from your sleep in a cozy, warm bed, all snuggled up and sleepy, or squeeze it in in massage after a relaxing shower before going to sleep and relieve pain or give some pleasure. I touch your skin, I feel your meat and experience more than flesh, sensitivity and sensuality. I feel within flowing a contentness, relaxedness, vulnerability, and warmth of love that melts me from myself. Demons. Demons and monsters riding souls of anguish, telling of need and want and to fulfill, obligations and indications and desires. Know these creatures, know their ways, know these beasts that live their lives, their loves vicariously through our existence, telling us our emotions and our words and meanings. within our stress of life, telling us of their needs that we should please, the ways they want and how to understand, and pleasing to them the life for us to feed. What can bestow and divvy the day? Can I ask you there, how does your day start? Maybe it starts with a fart. What do you do the minute you get up? You might even do it with a sup. What do you need to get in your prime? How do you feel sublime? I mean to ask, how do you measure time? How do you celebrate stuff? You might even do it in the buff. How do you appraise your happenings? Do you know how to feed your imaginings? Like gaps the frequents, how do you honor your achievements? Or feel fully your grievance? Do you know how to get a flutter in the head? Or is it something you do just before bed? And how do you blow off steam? No, how do you reward cream? How do you immortalize, ritualize? Tell me, how do you memorialize? I want to know how you socialize. Can you tell me how you how you reproach, deny, humiliate, condemn, debase, and castigate? What do you do after you consecrate? And can it bestow and divvy the day? How do you get your mellow? Do you use tobacco?